The history of martial arts in the West is often told through Hollywood movies and urban legends. But behind the silver screen, there are stories of absolute dedication and silent honor. Today, we dive into the life of a man who didn't just learn karate. He transported it like a sacred relic from Japan to the heart of America. This is the journey of Hanshi William J. Dometrich, founder of the United States Chito-Ryu Karate Federation, and the first Western disciple of one of history's greatest masters. Birth. Born on March 15, 1935, in the mountain town of Clarksburg, West Virginia. Death died on March 22, 2012, at age 77 in Union, Kentucky, USA. He was under care at St. Elizabeth Hospice in Edgewood, Kentucky, after suffering a heart attack weeks earlier. Main style, Chito-Ryu Karate. Master, Dr. Tsuyoshi Chitose. The post-war setting. Born in 1935, William Dometrich's life would change forever at the age of 19. As a paratrooper for the United States Army during the occupation of Japan, the young soldier found himself in Beppu, on the island of Kyushu. The atmosphere was one of reconstruction and cultural tension. It was in this setting that Dometrich first encountered what the locals called the art of the empty hand. Imagine the cultural shock. A young American military man entering a dojo where silence was the rule and discipline was a matter of spiritual survival. It was there he met the man who would shape his destiny, Dr. Tsuyoshi Chitose, meeting O-Sensei. Dr. Chitose, known as O-Sensei, was no ordinary instructor. He was a medical doctor who had synthesized centuries of Okinawan tradition with scientific knowledge of human anatomy. The resulting style, Chito-Ryu, focused on biomechanical efficiency and the practitioner's health. Dometrich wasn't just looking for self-defense. He was looking for order. Under O-Sensei's rigorous gaze, he trained in conditions we would consider impossible today. Hours of repeating stances, katas performed in stifling heat, and the constant pressure of being a gaijin, a foreigner, trying to master an art so intrinsically Japanese. The return and the hard lesson. Returning from Japan in early 1955, William Dometrich attempted to settle into the life of a typical American student. He enrolled at Fairmont State College in January, and by February, he had already established an unofficial karate club. The response was overwhelming. 37 students signed up for his first class. However, Dometrich brought back the only teaching style he knew, the grueling, uncompromising methods used to train soldiers. It was a harsh introduction for college students, and he quickly watched his classes dwindle. It was a pivotal moment of realization. If he wanted his art to survive in America, he had to evolve his teaching without losing the spirit of the warrior. Family and the silent years. Life soon began to move at a rapid pace. On June 6, 1955, just 6 weeks after their first date, William married Barbara Webster, the woman who would eventually be known as the mother of American Chito-Ryu. With a growing family to support, Dometrich made the difficult choice to drop out of college. In 1956, his son William II was born, and a year later, work took the family to Cincinnati. For a time, the GI was put away. Between the demands of a new career and the responsibilities of fatherhood, his practice fell silent. This period of quiet was compounded by tragedy in 1959, when his father passed away from a heart attack at the young age of 56. The rebirth of the dojo. The fire of karate, however, could not be extinguished. On January 11, 1960, Dometrich officially resumed his training, practicing at home and at the local YMCA. He partnered with Harvey Eubank and Raymond Hughes to run the Udan School of Self-Defense, But the pressures of work eventually forced the small club to close in late 1961. But Dometrich was undeterred. He moved his practice into a student's basement. It was here that Barbara began her own journey in the martial arts, standing by his side on the mats. By 1962, the dojo moved to a bingo hall in Covington, and soon after, to its own dedicated building next door. The American roots of Chito-Ryu were finally taking hold, reconnecting with the source. In February 1963, a letter arrived that would change everything. After years of silence, O-Sensei Tsuyoshi Chitose responded to Dometrich's outreach. Chitose reissued the certificates Dometrich had lost to theft, granted him an official teaching license, and promoted him to 4th Dan. Most importantly, he connected Dometrich with Master Tsuroka, the chief representative of Chito-Ryu in Canada. Dometrich named his new home the Kushinkan. It was a dojo built on character, not color. In May 1963, when Willie Stewart, a black man, joined the ranks, Dometrich faced the ugly reality of 1960s prejudice. Several students quit in protest, but Dometrich stood his ground. In his dojo, only the spirit and the technique mattered. This integrity led him to Toronto later that year to train with Tsuroka, marking the start of a lifelong international brotherhood. The mid-60s were a whirlwind of milestones. On February 24, 1964, Dometrich was sworn in as a Covington police officer, beginning a career in law enforcement that would mirror his martial discipline. That same year, he hosted his very first karate tournament, drawing support from masters across the country. Ever the seeker, Dometrich began cross-training in Gensei-ryu in 1965 to broaden his perspective. The rise of a champion. In May 1966, that same year, O-Sensei Tsuyoshi Chitose promoted William to 5th Dan. It wasn't until October, at Master Tsuroka's Canadian Championships, that the promotion was publicly announced to the world. Building the foundation, Dometrich was a man who never stopped being a student. In January 1967, he traveled to Philadelphia to train with Shotokan master Teruyuki Okazaki, working alongside icons like Inoue and Kasaka. But his heart belonged to Chito-Ryu. September 1967 marked a turning point. O-Sensei Chitose traveled to Canada, and Dometrich led a delegation of 42 students across the border to train with their founder. During a subsequent visit to Dometrich's home in Covington, O-Sensei made a historic request. He asked Dometrich to rename his dojo Yoseikan, the name of Chitose's own school in Japan, and to establish an official organization to represent Chito-Ryu across the United States. Dometrich now faced the daunting task of building a national legacy from scratch. The shadow of the law. Dometrich's life was defined by service. By 1970, he was a veteran officer, but tragedy struck on September 15th. During a high-speed police chase, his motorcycle was hit head-on. His left knee was shredded. Doctors performed surgery, yet Dometrich's spirit was unbreakable. He was back at his desk in 5 weeks. Despite the injury, his career and martial path soared. In 1971, he was promoted to 6th Dan and reached the rank of sergeant in the police department. That October, he returned to Japan. Kumamoto, O-Sensei Chitose promoted him to 7th Dan and awarded him the prestigious title of Kiyoshi. His wife, Barbara, earned her 2nd Dan. It was a pilgrimage of respect, meeting with masters like Gogen Yamaguchi and Masoyama, bridging the gap between East and West. Education and adversity. The 1970s saw Chito-Ryu expand into American academia. Dometrich began teaching at Thomas More College and Northern Kentucky University, drawing hundreds of students to the path of the empty hand. In 1973, over 3,000 spectators gathered in the U.S. to honor O-Sensei Chitose in a massive tournament. But the physical toll of his life began to show. In late 1973, a severe bout of pneumonia revealed a lifelong battle ahead: chronic acute bronchial asthma. Yet the captain of detectives did not slow down. In 1979, moved by the Iranian hostage crisis, he re-enlisted in the Army Reserves, serving in military intelligence. He was a man who answered every call to duty. The end of an era. In 1984, at age 49, Dometrich became the oldest applicant to ever enroll in the FBI National Academy at Quantico. His lifelong karate practice allowed him to outperform men half his age. He graduated in March, but just months later, the martial arts world was shattered. On June 5, 1984, O-Sensei Tsuyoshi Chitose passed away. For Dometrich, it was the loss of a father figure. Dometrich spent the following years honoring that memory. He resigned from the police force as assistant chief in 1986 and returned to active army duty with the 11th Special Forces Group. Even as the invasion of Kuwait extended his service into the 90s, he continued to teach, establishing dojos on military bases. The final rank. The final chapters of Dometrich's life were filled with global recognition. He was inducted into the Dai Nippon Butokukai, one of Japan's most elite martial organizations. In 1999, he was awarded the rank of 8th Dan and the title of Hanshi. Despite multiple knee replacements and health complications, he led 21 students to Kyoto in 2002 to perform before the Imperial Royal Family of Japan. Finally, in 2008, at the Third World Butokusai, he was promoted to 9th Dan, a pinnacle reached by very few. On March 22, 2012, William J. Dometrich passed away at the age of 77. He was a paratrooper, a police captain, a father, and a pioneer. He didn't just teach karate, he lived it. He left behind a legacy of ironclad discipline and a federation that stands as a testament to the man who brought the spirit of the Yosekan to the heart of America. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, take a look at these videos that are in the cards at the end. Like, comment, share, and see you in the next video.
Invite you to